Hi, we are here at the Buddhistdoor offices in Hong Kong today, and we are welcoming Professor Lewis Lancaster, who's visiting Hong Kong, and he's spoken to us before, but today we'd like to talk about one of his new projects with prison inmates in California and the new college course that he's bringing to them, and what he would like to share with us about that project today. Welcome, Professor Lancaster.
I always enjoy it, and I appreciate very much the work which Buddhistdoor does. It's used by so many people around the world, and I congratulate you for having this program here. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, I have been working with a group in California, the International Bodhisattva Sangha group from San Diego. They have been doing prison visitation work in the California state prisons for the last 16 years. And primarily the role has been to introduce the inmates to the practice of Buddhism, if they're interested, meditation, etc. But as time has gone by, and I've been visiting with them for the past 10 years, and giving lectures when I visit the prisons, prisoners have all been after us. We would really like to start studying Buddhism. Okay. Now that we've been practicing this meditation, some of them for some years, we want to know more. And so this summer, through the University of the West in Los Angeles, we will offer a college credit course in the first prison at Calpatria in Southern California, and it will be on the introduction to Buddhism.
So let's go back to the origins of this project, which is the actual meditation practice that you pioneered in bringing to these prisoners. Meditation, as we understand it, is about cultivation of attention, about awareness, about doing something purposefully with intention. But however, the atmospheric conditions for this cultivation are rather hostile in that environment, I would imagine. So how do you think that this hostile environment helps you or prevents you from, from successfully implementing meditation practices?
Well, it's a good question, but there's also another side to prison life, which the prisoners have reminded me of, and that is, they say this is somewhat like a monastery. We don't have to worry about our food and clothing. We have lots of time. We are here in this environment, and so consequently, for many of them, the practice of meditation is a welcome part of their daily life, and some of them meditate for hours every day.
To break the shackles of the mind is one of the goals of meditation, and I would imagine that these prisoners have plenty of those kinds of shackles within the walls of the prison, because many of them come from a place of anger, hostility, and on top of that they have the stress of being in this prison environment, which probably leads to somewhat maybe depression at some point. So they have these mental prisons as well as the physical prison. So is that a more of a challenge, you think, for them, or is it just like any other human being that's trying to practice meditation?
I have to say that my experience in the prison with the prisoners has always been something which surprises me, and that is, I have never felt that I am talking to people who are different. I feel that for most of the time I'm looking at these people thinking to myself, I could meet this person outside of this environment, and I would not think of them in the same way that perhaps we normally think of prisoners. But it took the prisoners to really teach me about how absolutely powerful meditation is, because you do see such incredible changes in them. When we first started visiting the prisons, the wardens tended to be rather hostile. And one warden once said, these people are not here to be entertained, they are here to be punished. And you have to remember that if you're going to come in here. But even the wardens now recognize that the prisoners who do this meditation practice have become such good, if I can use the word, citizens of the prisons, that they tell the other wardens, you really want to get these Buddhists in there teaching them how to meditate, because it'll make your life a lot easier.
Yes, yes.
So, of course, in the beginning, for a lot of prisoners, this is brand new. They don't know what to make of it. They are mistrustful. But they also see what it's done to other prisoners.
What are some of the barriers you find when you take this project to a new prison? Is it seen as a religious kind of indoctrination, or is it seen as a secular teaching, or is it one of the considerations that prevents it from being a more popular practice across prisons in America? What are some of the barriers you have faced?
Well, I would say that the first barrier is to find the people to do the visitation. Because these California state prisons that I go to are what we call a no-hostage prison. That is, when you go in, you have to sign that you understand if a prisoner took you hostage and tried to use you to escape, that you might be killed. They would not let the prisoner escape no matter what, even if it means having to kill the hostage. So there's no hostage policy. It scares a lot of people, and I myself have never felt any fear. I feel that I'm probably safer there than I am anywhere in my life. It is true that you run into resistance from the prison people sometimes. But this is less and less the case. The word is out. Meditation in prison really works. And so now we have 5 prisons that this particular group, the International Bodhisattava Sangha, works with. But they have requests from 12 other prisons. But they don't have the personnel to do it. Prisons are located at long distances. It's going to require a larger group of people.
Sounds like very challenging work for the volunteers. Could you tell us a little bit about how much time, how many times a month do they get to go there? And between their visits, what is the practice that the prisoners follow? Because meditation, as we know, is all about daily practice. And is there some way that they can do this? Is there any facility that's offered by the prison? Is there any support in terms of, that would be helpful. Yeah.
It is hard work on the volunteers. So, for example, the prisons are located in the remote parts of the state. So, for example, whenever I go with the San Diego group, I have to go to San Diego the night before because we get up at 3:30 in the morning. We have a 3.5-hour drive to the nearest prison, and we have 4.5-hour drive to the farthest prison. When you go to a prison, it's very hard work because you have each prison divided into 4 divisions. They're called yards. No prisoner can cross from one yard to another, so you have to repeat everything 4 times. So we do 90 minutes in each yard. So it's a long day repeating the same thing because they're different. It's a whole different audience. And then you have 3.5-hour drive back to San Diego. So it's hard work. They go to every prison now once a month. In between time, the prisoners who have really been meditating for quite a while have organized their own sanghas. Okay. They can meditate on their own in the prison if they wish at that time. Okay. It's just that the instruction and outside effort comes only once a month.
If I may just ask one last question on the instruction itself. We were at a mindfulness retreat organized by Thich Nhat Hanh's people, and we did some excellent meditations on mindful eating, mindful breathing, of course, the breathing exercises, mindful walking. Are these any of the practices you use in the prison?
Primarily the monk who goes and people, they're teaching them to do sitting meditation. And even walking meditation is somewhat difficult for them. You have to stay within confined parts of the prison yard, and there are all sorts of rules. Sitting meditation is the easiest in that environment.
I'd like to go back to what we started out with in terms of the course that you're going to offer to some of these prisons, the college level course. And you said that there was a demand for it after having gone through years of meditation. They're trying to now understand some of the theoretical aspects that may underlie this practice. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're going to be teaching?
Yes, for some time, the prisoners, particularly those who've been meditating for quite a while, have been asking us to do college-level courses for them. That has advantage for them because if they take college-level course, it helps them toward their parole. It also gives them credits when they get out, so if they go to college, they'll already have some college credit. There are a number of advantages. In some of the less secure prisons, city colleges are allowed to go in and do the first 2 years of college training, but not in the high security prisons. So we're going into a level 4 prison with a college course, and we had to get approval all the way up through the prison board to do that. So what we are doing is taking courses that I have given on the introduction to Buddhism, talking about its history and some of its thoughts, how it developed, just as an introductory course, 8 lectures. We've recorded them. We put them on DVDs. We can put the DVD in the library. They can look at it on a TV set which is not tuned to the outside world.
Some of our viewers at Buddhistdoor would be, I think, very curious about this wonderful organization, the International Bodhisattva Society, yes. And would also probably like to maybe gather more information or ways that they could possibly contribute to this effort that you seem to be involved in. Would you like to tell us if they can do that?
Yes, the International Bodhisattva Sangha has a homepage on Facebook. They have a homepage and they have Facebook. They are supported primarily from 2 sources. One monastery in Taiwan, as I've mentioned, and from lay people in the San Diego area who contribute once a year to their program, and that's very helpful. The other thing that they're trying to do is to put Buddhist books into the libraries of the state prisons. Unfortunately, California has 36 prisons for men. Most of their libraries have no books on Buddhism at all. So the first call that was put up for donations of books on Facebook resulted in about 5,000 volumes were sent from all over the world. And since then, the group has collected more than 10,000 volumes that it's distributed throughout 12 of the prisons. They eventually want to have put Buddhist books in all 36 prison libraries. So the homepage, the Facebook is a way to keep in touch. Facebook even has some of the letters written to them by the prisoners themselves that I think people would find very interesting. So I recommend going in and keeping track of what they're doing, and if it gives you a chance to also contact them.
Thank you so much for this interview. It's a pleasure having you as always.